If y'all can even hear me. Or is everyone just really
I
quiet
hear
today?
you. No. I'm just replying to Dorky here. Yeah. So you find Redane off by one of these few more stable structures in this encampment.
Yeah. Sajor isn't aware that he's been putting on the mask, but as he's approaching Redane, would there be any sort of visible indication that something's up?
I leave that to oh.
So instead of like the composed demeanor he's always has, there would almost be like a distant, perplexed look.
Yeah. Okay. So Sajor would just sort of approach and then quietly stand next to him for like a second or two, give him time to notice that he's there.
Would there be like porcelain residue?
No, the mask is actually. I guess the most residue would leave would be like the sort of like chalk. I guess like the sort of like it's almost like oh god, what's it called? Like wet Newtonian sand or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember what it's called. Moon sand, whatever the fucking product was on TV, whatever the fuck it was called. Something like that. But that sort of like it's like flicking off of you, fading to the wind, like very rapidly dissipating.
After that, you just look up and sort of snap back and realign himself. What is it, Shazar?
For a moment, you looked far away. You alright?
The kobolds we met. They said they served as silver dragon, correct?
Well, not specifically, but metallic, certainly, yeah. Answering the call north. A conclave, if you will.
They were silver kobolds, if that's of any relevance to your memory.
So, it doesn't matter right now. Are we ready to move?
No, I think the others are collecting some firewood for the night. Should be back in maybe 2 hours or so.
Right.
You mentioned a couple of months ago that you received training from a weapon master, yes?
Silence.
Just muted. So I'm assuming
kicking on and on.
I'm assuming he's talking to someone or something.
No, the master just keeps tuning him back out of reality.
Right. His wife.
Awkward timing. So, anyways, so back to that. I'm so glad you posted it, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, I will say, Dorky, if you want to wake up, you can. Just know this isn't like a video game where you guys could spam rest every 5 seconds and expect it to go through. If you guys want to rest, you guys have to sit your ass down and rest. So yeah, for you it's only 4 hours. For everyone else it's like 6 to 8.
So what were you saying?
So I was asking a couple of months back. You mentioned you received training under a weapon master, if I don't misremember.
That is correct, yes.
I just had a chat with Oriana a minute ago. My training far less formal. More like beaten into me through circumstance and trial by actual combat, I suppose.
Sure.
The long and short of it is, every year, I mentioned this to Orion as well, I meet up with my brother-in-law for a friendly spa. And he has beaten me 3 years consecutive years in a row now. And I always go back to trying to figure out what the reason is. Why does he beat me? Why is he able to do that? He's not a magic user. He's just picks up any odd weapon and off he goes.
Mm.
So brutal truth. What am I missing?
What is it he does that's so hard for you to beat?
Well, it depends. It seems no matter what I throw at him, he always has an answer. He'll pick up a chair, disarm me, and knock me on my feet, and whack me over the head with it. It doesn't matter. It's frustrating. And he tells me I am too attached to my weapon.
No, I've heard that before.
Maneuvers.
You would just look, and you are quite attached to your weapons.
Yes.
He would just stand up and sort of twirl his spear around in his hand. You are attached to them because there's something you own, something you claim. But they're a possession. They're not part of you. I think it's logical to conclude that your brother-in-law is the weapon. He's not using one.
So Joe nods, yeah, okay, I see, makes sense.
He would just sort of look and close his eyes for a second. Have you ever considered he's just better than you because he has the counsel of many, not just one?
Well, better than me in terms of his martial prowess, certainly.
That's the thing you linger on. It's a conquest for you.
I suppose it is.
Do you suppose it's not that you want to beat him, it's that you want him to know he was beaten by you?
No. I like the man. It's more that I want to be... I don't know if it's recognition I'm looking for, or just the knowledge that I can overcome whatever he's... I suppose it's his casual superiority. No, it rubs me the wrong way. Only I'm allowed to be like that.
Right. But what if it's not a fight you can win?
Well, that's the point, right? If I can't win, how do I win? How do I improve to a point where I can actually come up victorious? If our little stint in the Nightmare Emporium showed me anything, it's I need to shore up my weaknesses. I need to become strong where previously I was not. Sorry, Imperium.
Someday we'll get it right. But not today, it seems.
Because I keep thinking of the Black Emporium, that's why. Sorry.
Understandable.
Have you ever heard of the story of Chardeline?
Can't say that I have.
Chardeline was a great warrior, a conqueror, an elven one. Long, long time ago, way before elves even made contact in this land. But he knew not a lick of magic, and he wielded not a shield, nor did he have any skill with a bow. But when it came to the sword, he was legendary, peerless even. So how did he win? Well, it wasn't because Chardeline ever learned the bow or magic or shield. He surrounded himself with people that were his armor. Perhaps that's the point of it all.
Yes. But I don't think ganging up on my brother-in-law 5-1, it doesn't feel right. But I see your point. Perhaps it's a little difficult for me to see.
He just holds his hand up. Perhaps it's a little bit difficult for you to see past your pride.
Yes. It is.
He just goes and finds a stick and breaks off the tip of it and hands it to Sajar.
He takes it.
It's just an ugly little club of a stick.
Deadwood. Yep.
There. That can be your weapon. He holds out his spear. Unless you're too ashamed to fight with such a hideous club of a weapon.
No. Before we start, though, how much would you say this stick is worth?
I mean,
Reckon I could sell it for a silver piece?
you're just fucking trying to hawk a stick right now.
You know, there's a certain argument that you can scam any sucker into buying for 500 gold, you know? Who fucking knows?
Are you asking that aloud, or are you asking
Yes.
Crash that?
No, he's asking that aloud.
That just depends on the purpose. To you, it might be worth nothing. To a person that is about to die of cold, could be worth everything they have.
So you're saying you would pay me a silver for it? If you were dying from cold?
If it meant it's all I had, then I would pay you anything I could change. No exchange would be too high.
He looks at it. Doubt on his face, but then he sort of slowly nods, and then he will attempt to do a booming blade in the air And the reason he did all of this is it requires a weapon that it's worth at least 1 silver.
It does. It does. This does not constitute such.
It's like, oh shit.
At this, Redain's going to use that opportunity to like pommel strike him with a spear in the stomach.
Fair. I'd say he'd be distracted to the point where he doesn't
Making it. Are you at your computer? Oh, or no?
I can be in just like 12 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Make an attack roll. Ahead of time, what is your AC, Sajar?
18.
18. All right, well, another number we gotta beat.
Ta-da. Whoa, where's my... There it goes, okay.
Yeah, Roll20 is acting up for me now, so I don't know if it still is or anyone.
Bruh.
Well, luckily, well, actually, no, the pommel. Shit, yeah, I guess that'd be like a D4 of damage, so.
Yeah, it's not like with an intent to hurt him, just to surprise him.
Bruise his ego.
We'll say then, what's your strength mod? Oh wait, I can see.
0.
I see. Interesting. Then we'll use your dex. We'll check and see here. We'll say Sajar takes 6 damage. You get gut checked right where your rib cage begins like spreading out, like just below the sternum. Yeah, the wind gets knocked out of you as this pointed palm will just.
For like a split second, I don't know, how high is Redain's passive perception?
Oh man, it's good. It's really good. It's like a 16 or something. It's a 14. Never mind. It's not that good.
It's all right. It's not terrible. It's better than like 11.
You would see something on Sajar's face. It's like the kind of, imagine a dog snarling where they pull their guns back and their teeth are showing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they bare their teeth.
Yeah, you see a flash of that on his face before he composes himself again, and he'll try to bring the stick up for a riposte.
Let's see, there is the. Okay, I will do. Make an attack roll, Sajar.
That's 1d20.
And then I will give Redain the what's it called? The defensive duelist ability. If he wants to, he could add to his AC if he chooses to parry the riposte.
Well, now let's see. I'm only proficient with martial weapons, so
This would be basically an improvised weapon.
Yeah, so strength mod.
Just strength mod. What? I know for a fact your AC is not that low, Redain, so there's not even much point to any blocking.
I think he's just not there. He's just already flanked off to the side.
That moment of arrogance was costly. A moment spent too long, as Redain has already turned around you. Pirouetted. Break out all the Witcher spit.
There's like a little...
Perhaps, if it actually matters to you to win, you can put aside what you value the most.
There's like a little crackle along his arms of electricity. And he looks at the stick again. Takes a deep breath. Faces toward Redain and assumes like a more of a composed stance. And does like the come at me sign with one hand.
Interesting.
Just gonna look around for us for like a sizable rock or log or something.
Yeah, no, there's some spilled over parts of the palisade if you wanted like a really tall, lengthy log, or there's some stones here and there from the numerous fire pits that were previously assembled in the encampment. Yeah, there's plenty of material to work with.
You know what? He'll twist his spear and stab it into the ground before letting it go. And then he'll pull out his sword and sort of walk around
yes, the magic
Cesar.
He begins approaching. You do go round, Cesar, like to 180?
I circle all the way around him slowly, drawing the blade.
Cesar, can you make me a perception check? Or Arcana?
Yeah.
I'll say one.
Let's see.
I feel like your perception is probably better, but I might be wrong.
They're actually the same.
Then whichever you feel you want, you want more.
Minus
no D4 on this, so 16. You can see the way Redane is tensing, focusing, and you feel a surge of power emit from him. He's casting a spell. You don't know what spell, but he's casting a spell.
So, I think Sajar would grin a little bit at that, like, okay, if those are the rules, okay, and then he's gonna try to, like, I don't know how I would describe this, but he's gonna try to like pour some of his raw magic into the stick. Say 2 spell points. I don't know what that does, but that's what he's feeling that. And then he's gonna wait for Redane to come at him, and he's gonna try to parry with the stick.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha, okay. Seeing you holding your ground, he'll move forward and throw out like a fully over the top 180 arcing, super obvious swing.
Almost a taunt, a boast, a vaunt of its own.
Yeah, sensing that something is probably up, Sadara is going to try to do like a simple parry with the stick and then prepare to react to whatever else is going on.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I don't think Redane, you're trying to really tag a hit on him up front, right? So
Not at all.
yeah, the two of you lock blades, quote unquote. Not that you already have a blade for you, Sadar. And as Redane, your sword cuts into it, you do see sparks like fly out of the newly fresh, like the fresh cut into the little stick, not a little stick, but the stick. That being said, can you make me the aforementioned attack roll? Is that attack roll? Right? Yeah, it's attack roll. Spell attack, I believe.
Oh, you know what? You're right. That's actually an 18 then.
Yeah, it should be a spell attack modifier. I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's exactly my AC.
Exactly your AC. Perfect. As the two of you are contesting each other's, capabilities, Sajar, you hear the sounds of dirt being loosed behind you, and very, very, very shortly thereafter, you feel a stinging pain in your lower leg. Almost like Eddard Stark. That's by the knee. We're not aiming for the knee right now. But you do feel a stinging pain like on your leg. Was it your upper leg? I think that's a bit more relevant.
Yeah, just make a strength save real quick.
Yeah, make a strength save.
I have to keep walking outside.
Push the target at 50 feet. The spear that Redane had left behind for this bout is afloat. It is animated in a manner similar to visually, imagine like a spiritual weapon, moving on its own accord, and it is stabbing into you. Where are you trying to send him with the mobile? Or
just into into the bramble.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As this thing pierces your leg, you feel it like begin like cutting, flinging almost. So it's either you move with it or you start losing more parts of your upper leg, which also has your major arteries. So maybe don't do that. And you get flung towards basically the foot of the palisade where a lot of brambles and bushels have cropped up from, water flow in general. And you land amidst the bushes. Your leg is bleeding profusely. Your pride is hurting more than profusely.
Yeah, so gonna Redain, you would see Sajar lying there in the bush, and then he would vanish, and then you see this sort of it doesn't take more than maybe like a second, like a mist comes up and manifests behind you, and then Sajar stands there with a stick and gently nudges your back with it. Point taken.
He would just resheath his sword, his magical sword. I have no doubt in this world that you would beat me in any fight.
The spear floats next to you, just sort of hovering there.
He just uses his hand to mimic the motions as the spear does the same. But I don't have the pride you do.
I find that the most difficult thing for me and he'd put the stick down and he'd take out this new magical sword that he'd gotten, and he just looks at it. I don't know how easy it is for you to understand, Redain, that doing something that goes against my very nature is difficult.
Then don't. He would walk next to you and flip the blade so it shows the reflection of you. Make your nature work for you. You're a scale warden, correct? You have an oath.
I do.
That is your strength. Not your draconic heritage. Not the power of your arm or the magic you can cast. You are only as powerful as what makes you fight.
Conviction. Is that what you...
Your brother-in-law knows his.
So that's what he meant when he said a reason. What's my reason? He never... Well, Redain, I think I know yours. I will have to think on mine.
What's your guys'
I hear
password?
you. 12.
16 for
14.
14. 14. My bad.
Oh, 16, but I did not take expertise in perception.
Wah. It happens. Don't worry, you guys will have the opportunity. Go on, keep up.
But if I understand what you're saying, I have been looking, coveting a tool set that I have struggled fighting against. And instead of finding an answer myself, using my own conviction, I've been looking to mimic others. Is that what you're implying?
Definitely think you've been coveting it. Sajar, I would not see you as my equal if it not for the dream that you told me of. He would just point over to, the rest of the camp. Not everyone has a dream. Some people will just be the tools that the people accomplish theirs with. I believe that's what sets you apart. It's divined you for greatness.
If I knew where to start looking, I would start looking.
Then let me give you the words of wisdom that were given to me. A man is no man who does not leave the world a better place.
Well, the world would certainly be a lot better without Milton in it. I'm sorry, Melvin. Milton, Melvin, who cares? Anyway, deflecting. She's been on my mind a lot lately.
Do you believe we're close with what Amber said?
What did Amber say?
You should talk about this, Jack.
So that he might have the eye of Shamandra.
Oh, yes, that.
But no. You guys hear the sounds of approach. Not to you guys directly. You guys are nearby, relatively one of the gates. It's the sound of cloven tracks, as well as pod ones, woven ones.
Before they get there, I would just say one more thing to him. There will come a day when you will have to decide between what you want and what you need.
What I want. That's everything. What I need. Well, for now, I'll settle for a method of tracking, searching. But I suppose the road will take me where I need to go. I think I understand what you're trying to say. Thank you.
As you guys are finishing up, you turn to the now present sound of the source. To those of you, to Deet and Brendan, as you guys are in the midst of resting or transcribing, you're both stirred from slumber and activity as you guys see the two wolves, dire wolves that left with the away team, as I'm going to now refer them as well as the horse that was with them. The horse has its saddle packs filled with wood, firewood. The wolves, just immediately, as soon as they come back to camp after escorting said horse, fuck off and go about their own business. Ripper finding something to bite onto, Fang content in chilling next to Slack for the evening. But I suppose the very obvious thing is the animals came back. Not so much the people that went with them. You do see upon the horse declared Chester, self-declared Chester. Actually, no, the horses were named by the Hilllanders. Not self-declared Chester. There is a note attached to it. What are the contents of said note? I will unlock it for you in your handout section, all of you. Tired as you may be, you've recovered from your injuries, but... Well, you've been recovered from your injuries ever since this morning. But this activity is definitely going to, stir you from your trance. The handout, simply declared as Silas's note, is in your guys' handout section.
Okay, this is great.
This is all written by Need Not, so any admiration or fame or blame, throw it that way.
I believe you've done this.
Where's the TLDR? There is a TLDR. You're over there or you don't? I'm not TLDRing for you.
Suffer.
If you want to just wait for other people to read it and tell you in character, sure. Be my guest.
I might be inclined to do that, because I was just weed whacking and busted a pipe that I now have to repair.
Oh god.
Why'd you bust a pipe?
It's a lot colder than I thought, and the weed whacker actually cracked it. So that shouldn't happen, unless it's so cold, the plastic, yeah.
Bust out the duct tape.
That's what I'm looking for.
Or, like a caulking agent, maybe. Actually, no, I don't think you want to have that interacting. Well, I guess it's about... You guys are drinking from this water pipe. It's probably like irrigation, right? So... Just caulk it up. The silence as everyone looks at the notes.
It's great.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good time for a break. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. 5-minute break. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm so, I want someone to read it out loud.
You're the one that wrote it. Read it sound split.